Welcome to the Alchemical Wellness Podcast. My name is Derek. I'm an herbal alchemist who specializes in biofield tuning and life guidance.
My name is Raquel. I'm a holistic nutritionist and chef, as well as a wild pregnancy advocate and free birth keeper.
And we are Black Bear Herbary. We're here to empower you to exist within the sovereignty of nature and transform your mind, body, and soul. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to all of our listeners. We have been super grateful, super appreciative to everybody that has listened to the podcast so far. If you could leave a review on Spotify, that'll help us find new listeners and increase our audience base so that we can get more wellness to more people. If you're on YouTube, leave us a comment, like the video, tell us what we're doing good, and then don't forget to head over to our website and sign up for our newsletter. We are dropping discount codes all the time. We have special product features. We send out more information on each week's podcast. So if you want a little hint before the next episode releases, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. And don't forget to send this to a friend. Welcome back, guys. This is episode 6 of the Alchemical Wellness Podcast. Today we are going to be talking about the human biofield. And this pertains to all 3 pillars of alchemical wellness. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back an episode and listen to the 3 pillars of alchemical wellness, and that'll give you a better explanation of what those are and what those mean for you and for just balance for wellness in general. So the way that I like to describe the biofield is like rings on a tree. And tree rings hold information throughout the life of the tree. And your biofield does the same thing. As we go through life and we pick up different traumas and different basically emotions that we're at the time unable to process, those get stored in our biofield. And through not allowing those to flow through the biofield and come back to our energy centers and be processed as frequency or electricity or, basically not being able to process those emotions keeps energy stagnant within our biofield. By allowing for stagnation within our biofield, we have these physical symptoms that become present within our body, such as, let's talk about left shoulder pain, because that's something that I experience frequently. It's linked back to the emotion of sadness, and specifically it's sadness unexpressed. And when we're not allowing our emotions to flow through, and when we process our emotions properly, we are clearing out the stream. When we have the blockage and when we allow the sticks to build up, then the stream of energy can't flow properly. And that's where you get the shoulder pain or the pinching nerve pain in your neck. So really any body pain can be related in some way or another to not being able to process emotions properly and holding on to these different traumas that happen within our biofield. So I've done quite a bit of client work through tuning sessions, which are pretty transformative if you're open to it. These tuning sessions consist of the biofield. We move through the biofield, we identify emotions, and we help bring those back to center so that they can be processed efficiently and allow for that free flowing of energy again. And a lot of times, people feel like they have a clear mind for the first time in a long time. They feel, looser and more grounded and just overall better. And that I would just attribute that to, the flow of a river. If our rivers are flowing smoothly, our electricity is flowing smoothly, we're able to connect with the earth, we're able to connect with the ether, and our 13 energy centers are communicating properly with each other. You're going to find that you have more energy, that you have more compassion and love for people who maybe don't know exactly what they're doing wrong, or maybe they've hurt you in some way, and you find it easier to kind of accept and process these things because you don't have all these stagnant, traumatic moments scattering your biofield anymore. And it sounds really easy to just kind of clear out and, be done with it. But in reality, it does take a few sessions. Like we highly recommend people do, upwards of 4 or 5 sessions to really get down and get deep and kind of help guide you through how to process these things and how to, bring your past traumas into your present and be at peace with those. And yeah, we like to try to look at emotions in a very neutral frame of mind. So any emotion that we find within the biofield is neither good nor bad. And if we approach it with that neutrality and that calmness and the curiosity to, discover what put it there and what basically the whole reason that it's even stuck in your biofield, and just approaching that with curiosity and compassion and love, we're able to accept those emotions and find peace within ourselves to clear out those emotions. So during a session, we use a couple of different tuning forks. And these aren't the same as like instrument tuning forks. These are specifically crafted for biofield tuning and working within the electric body. We have a 528 hertz that is a DNA repair. That one is super cool, really fun to work with, really smooths out those rough edges and can help with any organ inflammation and just really being able to process those physical things, not just the emotional things. I've noticed that it helps a lot with joint movement and reducing the metabolic waste within joints. We also work with a 174 hertz, and this is kind of the primary tuning fork that we use during biofield tuning. We use it for our what we call field combing, and it has the ability to provide this different feedback through not only through the way that it sounds, but the way that it feels when it's resonating in your hand. And then, the way it pulls through the biofield. If we find a spot that has that stagnation, it could feel muddy. It could feel like the fork is being pushed through, like you don't want to pay attention to that location. And this fork allows us to do what we call a click, drag, and drop. Everything that we've learned has been through Eileen McCusick, and the way that she describes the click, drag, and drop is pretty awesome, and I highly recommend checking out some of her stuff. She's got 2 awesome books. But anyway, the click, drag, and drop is literally identifying an emotion, selecting it, and pulling it back to center. Pulling it back to our primary energy centers, because we have energy flowing constantly throughout our entire body. But we have specific major energy centers that allow all of this flow to flow properly and to flow in and out of the body, and we're constantly accepting and getting rid of information. So by bringing the emotion back to the center, it can flow down or it can flow up, whichever way it needs to go, and out of the body, and we can find peace within ourselves again. So we also do on the body tuning. We use a set of forks called the Fibonacci pair. That's a 89 hertz and a 144 hertz. And this forms a geometric pattern within the body. It's the same geometric pattern that you find in nature. So if you look, I can't remember the name of the produce, but there's it kind of looks like broccoli, but it's got these spirals, and it's the Fibonacci sequence. These forks, when they resonate together, they're creating the Fibonacci sequence within your body. And they also help move energy through certain muscle groups. So what that means is if you look at your back muscles are actually like an X. So your left shoulder is going to be connected to your right hip and vice versa. And with the Fibonacci pair, we can use the energy and actually spread it through the entire muscle group there. And then that, brings the relaxation, that brings the Fibonacci sequence, that reestablishment of nature's harmony through your body and into your muscle groups, into your fascia, into the electrical circuits that exist within the body, and we're just enhancing those through frequencies. Another fork that we use is a 93.96 hertz, and this is the 12th harmonic of the Schumann resonance, which is actually the electromagnetic pulse of the earth. So when we're using this fork directly on the body, we are grounding the body with earth energy, which is so cool. Eileen McKusick says, there's a wide range of benefits, including weight loss, improved muscle tone, healthier and more radiant complexion, pain and tension reduction, improved digestion, increased energy, and overall well-being. And that is directly from her website. So we know kind of what goes on during a tuning session now. We also know that the Biofield holds and stores trauma and emotion. But what else does it store? The Biofield actually stores your connection with your mother and your father. And then there's also these ancestral rivers that flow through our Biofield as well. So when we say that we're connecting with our ancestors, there is a legitimate link in your electric body or your Biofield that is connecting you to your ancestral energy. So you are directly connecting with your ancestors if you sit and meditate, if you do a Biofield tuning session, if you're, just being conscious and initiating that energy. You have complete control over all of the electricity, all of the energy that flows through you and flows through your Biofield. And by applying intention to that energy and to that electricity, you can have it flow wherever you want it to flow, and you can create these connections between your ancestors, between your living mother and father, between whoever you really want to connect with. Our biofields aren't just rings on a tree. They provide us with outside information, and our biofields grow and shrink depending on many factors, some being emotional health, environmental health, and general personality. Like if you walk into a room and people say excuse me, and people say like your energy just kind of fills the room, well, that's your biofield. That is your biofield expanding to take up that space, and that can be a good thing. It can also be a bad thing. It could mean that you are projecting your unresolved trauma and emotions onto different people, whether you understand it or not. But a general basis for the biofield is about 6 feet. We don't stick to that number completely. Like we just talked about, it's ever growing. It shrinks depending on you. So anybody that is interacting with your biofield within 6 feet of you, you're actually collecting electric information from their biofields. So that's why it's so important to, be able to protect our energies, be able to choose when we're accepting other energies, and having proper flow within our own electric bodies, and filling those channels with love and compassion. If you fill your biofield with love and compassion, you will automatically increase the vibration of other people's biofields just by standing near them. This is a phenomenon that has been studied by a few different people, but frequency is held in water. So when we apply loving frequencies to water, we can see a different crystalline structure when we freeze the water, whereas if we're applying negative frequencies, you'll see kind of just this blob or broken up structures, and they don't have a lot of form to them when you freeze the water. And the body, in my opinion, is made up of upwards of 97% water. So that means by applying loving frequencies to your own biofield and standing in let's say you stand in a crowd that's frustrated and annoyed, and maybe something just happened, but by you standing there, you are affecting the people within your biofield positively. You are radiating this energy outward, and no negative energy can touch you. So again, as above, so below, as within, so without. If we allow ourselves to be filled up with the white light and the love and the compassion, then our bodies are going to resonate with that. They're going to feel better. They're going to have more energy. And the energy that you are putting out, you are also receiving, right? So if you are sending your best friend love and compassion, they're going to feel that. They are. The energy has the earth has its own energy currents, and we can tap into those, and we can send energetic signals to our friends, to our family, to people who need that. When people talk about praying for others in different religions, that's all this is. We are literally just tapping into the energetic veins of the earth and sending messages to other people, and they're receiving those energetic messages. Something else that we practice and try to do with all of our products that come in and out of our lab is infuse them with these different energies, these different frequencies. One of the easiest ways that you as a listener can access these frequencies is simply by going to YouTube, typing in 528 DNA repair or 432 hertz meditation, and you can literally bathe and immerse yourself in these healing frequencies, and those are going to tap into your different energy centers as well and just raise your voltage. But we use something called organite, which infuses positive and healing energy into all of our products. So anytime you're getting a tincture that's been infused with organite energy, and you're not only working with the spirit of the plant now, you're also working with a very structured healing frequency. Organite is something that we're going to get into in a later podcast. There's a lot of information surrounding it and a lot of really cool experimentation that people have done with it. But we'll dive down that rabbit hole another time. Just try to remember that you should never pour from your cup. When your cup is full and your cup starts to overflow, allow people to collect what overflows, but never pour from your cup. If you don't have enough to fill yourself up, then you don't have enough to share. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please send us an email. You can submit questions on Spotify. You can leave a comment on YouTube. And be mindful of the frequencies that you put out and that you allow within your own self, and raise your voltage. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of the Black Bear Herbary family. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and online at blackbearherbary.com. Sign up for our newsletter to get teasers about new podcast episodes and special discounts. We offer consultations to help guide you and provide you with information as you move through your alchemical wellness journey. And if you're looking for ways to support this podcast, we've got merch available on the website, or just simply send it to a friend or family member and have them give us a listen. We hope you have a transformative day.